From the brand new Phillipsburg High School gym on the campus of Phillipsburg High School in Lopatcong Township, New Jersey, the Stateliner Sports Network proudly presents the semifinal round of the 2018 Hunterdon Sussex Warren Wrestling Tournament. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mike Moore, and along with Bob Kerp, we'll be bringing you all the hold-by-hold of today's semifinal round. Our wrestling action is brought to you on the Stateliner Sports Network by the Rothman Institute, a worldwide leader in orthopedics and official orthopedic partner of the NJSIAA. Visit RothmanInstitute.com. By Ahart, Frenzy & Smith, recognized as one of the leading insurance agencies in the United States. Find out more at AFSinsurance.com. By Urco Credit Union, 450 Hillcrest Boulevard in Phillipsburg, and 2240 Northampton Street in Easton. Great rates, low fees. Visit us at urcocu.com. By Open Mic, for exclusive coverage of the Stateliners and the entire Hunterdon Warren Sussex area, follow Mike Weileman's blog at mikeopen.blogspot.com. And by Welcome to the Pit, History of Phillipsburg Wrestling is available. Order yours on Amazon today. Well, we wrestled 2 rounds beginning at 10 o'clock this morning through the preliminaries and the quarterfinals. Going into the semifinals, Pope John is leading the way. They have 8 semifinalists. We have a bunch of schools with 5. High Point, Hunterdon Central, Newton, North Hunterdon, and Phillipsburg. Then Delaware Valley and Voorhees each have 3, 2 each for Belvedere, Hackettstown, Lenape Valley, Sparta, and Warren Hills. And Hopatcong, Wallkill Valley, and North Warren each have 1 semifinalist. Here's how we will line up in the semifinals. At 106 pounds, Quinn Malovchik of Belvedere taking on Cooper Stort of Sparta, and Connor Robinson of North Hunterdon will face Brett Unger of Hunterdon Central. 113, Eddie Ventresca of Pope John against C.J. Heaps of Delaware Valley, and Brandon LaRue of High Point against Phillipsburg's Cullen Day. 120, Travis Jones of Phillipsburg will face Zachary Creedon of Wallkill Valley. Other half of the bracket, Aiden Taylor of Voorhees and Kaya Cement of Pope John. 126, A.J. DeRosa of Delaware Valley, Matthew Rosa of Newton, and then in the bottom half of the bracket, it is Maverick Leibel of High Point and Anthony Mastraini of Hopatcong. At 132, Jake Rotunda of Pope John facing Billy Talmadge of High Point and Gage Crater of Delaware Valley against Hunter Graff of Hunterdon Central. 138, Joe Aragona of Pope John, Kyle Tino of Phillipsburg, Shane Kobus of High Point, Andrew Gappus of North Hunterdon. At 145 pounds, Robert Garcia of Pope John, Michael Wilson of North Hunterdon, Vince Romanello of Hunterdon Central, Alex Carita of Hackettstown. 152, Brian Meyer of Phillipsburg, Calvin Brook of Kittatinny, Tucker Kirchberger of North Hunterdon, and Wyatt McCarthy of Newton. 160, Kevin Cerisa of Hunterdon Central, Robbie Turro of High Point, Bill Hughes of North Hunterdon, John Borgagnoni of Newton. 170 pounds, Josh Heiler of Kittatinny, Lance Wissing of Phillipsburg, James Swetzel of Pope John, Dan Formato of Hunterdon Central. 182, Zach Mafaro of Kittatinny, Joe DeLuca of Newton, Jared Oster of Warren Hills, Reese Muldoon of Pope John. 195, Scott Fernandez of Voorhees, Ryan Kakowski of Belvedere, Luke Fisher of Newton, and Robbie Jeanette of Sparta. And at 220, Luis Fernandez of Voorhees, Jacob Mafaro of Kittatinny, Ryan Hall of Lenape Valley, Jake Brown of Pope John. And at 285, the top seed, Joe Andes of Hackettstown, Joey Sprague of North Warren, Gabriel Jimenez of Lenape Valley, and Doradolo Ajay of Warren Hills. Well, we wrestled on 6 mats in the first 2 rounds. We have since cut down to 4 mats and opened the east side of the bleachers here at the Phillipsburg gym. And it's gone relatively, Bob, in good shape. And I described it to someone earlier today as kind of like organized mayhem. But they got through 2 rounds and ready to start the semis.
Yeah, the Phillipsburg gym is right-sized for an event like this. So the crowd had enough room to maneuver. People weren't on top of each other, and wrestling was pretty well organized. The officials had control of the mats, obviously, and everyone was checking in an orderly fashion.
Now they've asked everyone to clear the mats, so we'll be ready to go shortly here at 106 pounds. I will be watching Connor Robinson of North Hunterdon and Brett Unger of Hunterdon Central. And Bob will be keeping an eye on the top seed Quinn Malofchik of Belvedere and Cooper Stort of Sparta. Tournament referees are Doug Hess, Stort Cohn, Joe Benvenuto, Anthony Duflameri, Barry Jackson, Frank Leitner, Russ Scarice, and Joe Rossetti. Not a bad day outside. A little different from yesterday. We had rain and 60 degrees, and today we're operating a lot colder, but sun shining and not the potential ice problem that the forecasters were looking for earlier today. All right, we're going to get set. Connor Robinson of North Hunterdon, Brett Unger of Hunterdon Central on mat 2. Unger of Hunterdon Central is in the red and black, and North Hunterdon in that darker singlet with the white trim. No advantage, and they have wrestled 20 seconds. These are the 2 and 3 seeds. Unger of Hunterdon Central is the 2 seed. Robinson of North Hunterdon is the 3 seed. Circle each other to the left. Tie up right in the center. Unger trying to spin around to Robinson's right. He has control of Robinson's right ankle. And Unger has the takedown. And the Hunterdon Central freshman has a 2-0 lead. Unger is undefeated on the season. Now 17-0. And he's a Hunterdon Central Holiday Tournament champion. The referee for this bout is Anthony Duflameri. Just under a minute to wrestle here in the first with Unger on top, 2-0, trying to work a hazard tilt. Has Robinson's left arm, left wrist, pulling that across to the right side of the body. Wants to tilt him out to his left, and he's got a 1 count. 2, 3, 4, 5 swipes. 3 back points are coming on the hazard tilt for Hunterdon Central's Brett Unger. He gets the 3 back points, and he leads Connor Robinson of North Hunterdon 5-0. Going to try and tilt him again. 1 count, 2 count. Or did he get 2 separate swipes and not going to get any back points out of that? Final 10 seconds here of the first. And we will end the first with Brett Unger of Hunterdon Central on top of Connor Robinson of North Hunterdon 5-0.
In the other 106 bout, Quinn Malofchik of Belvedere out to a 2-1 lead over Cooper Stort of Sparta. Still wrestling here in the first period. Both wrestlers on their feet.
Brett Unger choosing underneath to start the second. Should tell you on mat 1, which is a top-seeded wrestler, we do not have a view of the clock in this round. Unger trying to come out the side door for a reversal. He's got it. And the Hunterdon Central freshman now leads Connor Robinson of North Hunterdon 7-0. Robinson had to go overtime in the quarters to decision Phillipsburg's Logan Matsko 6-4. Unger in the quarters an 8-0 win over Devin Leibel of High Point. Not all of these brackets, and especially the 106-pounders, had a full 16 wrestler bracket. Unger riding out the left side. At the 1 minute mark in the second, he leads 7-0. Chops at the right elbow to maintain control. Reaches inside for the left wrist. Stalling warning on Robinson. First warning in the bout. Now that claw looking for a tilt by Unger out to the right side. Robinson able to fend that off. Unger is one of 5 Hunterdon Central semi-finalists. Under 20 seconds to wrestle here in the second, and he has a 7-0 lead over Connor Robinson of North Hunterdon. Strong left-hand tight waist, chopping at that right elbow. 5 seconds to go. And we are through 2, and Unger leads 7-0.
The other battle, 106, Belvedere's Malofchik is up 4-2 on Cooper Stewart of Sparta with 2 first period takedowns.
Robinson chose neutral to start the third. Unger underhooks the left shoulder of Robinson. Wrestlers on their knees. Unger trying to get up on his left foot. Still has the left shoulder underhooked. Reaches now for the right ankle. Spinning around to the right side of Connor Robinson and hooks the leg for a takedown. Second of the bout. And Unger on top, 9-0. Riding out the left side. 1:10 to go in this one. Unger with a strong right hand tight waist. Goes to that claw on the right shoulder. Just under a minute to go here in the bout as he breaks down Connor Robinson. Now Unger wants to work a lever. Gives up on that. .40 seconds to go here in the bout. Maintains control, now wants to bar the right arm. Just sitting on top of Robinson. Still controls that right wrist. Stalemate called by referee Anthony Duflameri with 22 seconds to go in the bout. Robinson tried to spin away and almost got tilted. 15 seconds to go. Hazard tilt. Robinson's over for a 2 count. 3, 4, 5. 3 back points for Brett Unger. And he is going to win a 12-0 decision over major decision over Connor Robinson of North Hunterdon at 106.
Late in the third period, Belvedere's Quinn Malofchik has an 11-3 lead over Cooper Stewart of Sparta. Five takedowns for Malofchik have made the big difference here.
Cullen Day will be out for Phillipsburg on Mat 2 against Brandon LaRue of High Point in the 113-pound weight class. And again, Cullen Day facing a much taller opponent. Day tries to tie up the left wrist. Trying to snap down on LaRue. Still no advantage. They've wrestled 30 seconds. LaRue looks for an ankle pick as they go off the mat. No advantage. So we will have a battle at 106 between the top two seeds in Malovchik and Unger.
Malovchik, the 11-4 winner over Cooper Stewart.
Russ Scarice, the referee of this bout between Phillipsburg's Cullen Day and Brandon LaRue of High Point. Day's in on a double. As LaRue over top his head, drops him down onto his left hip, trying to hook a leg. Still no advantage. And a stalemate called by Russ Scarice with 50 seconds to go. Day and LaRue fight for hand and wrist control. 40 seconds to go here in the first. Cullen Day is one of 5 Phillipsburg semifinalists. LaRue one of 5 for High Point. Again, Day in that double leg situation. Drops LaRue down to his right hip. Still no advantage. Under 10 seconds to wrestle here in the first. Day trying to hook that leg, pop his head to get 2. And the first period will end scoreless.
Semifinal bout underway at 113. Eddie Ventresca of Pope John just got a fall against Delaware Valley's C.J. Heaps in the first period near the end.
LaRue will be underneath to start the second after Day deferred. LaRue stands, and Day cuts him loose. LaRue has the escape and a 1-0 lead. Working takedowns again. Day got in a couple of times on a double, but was unable to finish it. Day's in on it, that double again. Gonna pick up LaRue. Has him over his left shoulder. Again drops him down to his hip. As LaRue stays locked through the crotch. And that is what blocked off Day before. And again, stalemate is called. There's no advantage.
Travis Jones now wrestling at 120 and just got a reversal to even the match against Zachary Creedon at 120. Creedon of Walco Valley.
We'll stay with Day, but Bob, keep us informed on Travis Jones. 1 minute to go here in the second. 1-0 lead for Brandon LaRue of High Point over Phillipsburg's Cullen Day. Day gets in on the right leg this time, and a whizzer by LaRue, and they're off. Day was a 9-1 winner in the quarters over Niall Matter of Kittatinny. LaRue a fall in 1:47 over Colby Kaczynski of Voorhees. Off the mat they go neutral at 38 seconds.
Jones up 4-2 with back points.
Day trying to snap down on the head. There's a power shrug attempted. Missed. Day picks him up. Drops down. Still trying to hook that leg. As again, LaRue stays locked through the crotch. Day trying to reaching as far as he can with that right leg to hook LaRue's leg. Down to 10 seconds to go here in the second. Day trying to get control here. 5 seconds to go. Russ Scarice has still no advantage, and they will end 1-0 LaRue after 2. LaRue has fought off several good takedown attempts from Cullen Day, using that size and reach to his advantage. Day will be underneath in the third.
First period ends at 1:20. Travis Jones leading Zachary Creedon of Wallkill Valley 4-2.
Day trying to stand. LaRue wants to work a hazard tilt, turning Day to his right. Tries to work that hazard. Now trying to get the right leg in. Breaks down Day in that power half position. And trying to turn Cullen Day to his left.
Travis Jones now up 6-2. Working Peterson in the second period, trying to get back points.
Stalemate was called. Day with 1:18 to go here in the bout, trailing 1-0. Left hand tight waist. LaRue trying to get that right leg in. Trying to tilt Day to his right. Day hanging on to LaRue's right foot, so he can't turn him. Just under a minute to go in the bout, another stalemate. 56 seconds to go.
Jones is riding in the second period, but somewhat precariously. Still up 4-2 over Zach Creedon.
I think Day can win this thing from his feet if he manages to get out here in the final 56. LaRue trying to work that tilt to his left. Russ Scarice indicating he did not. 45 seconds to go in the bout. Trying to tilt Day to his left, gives up on that. Day has that right foot of LaRue's trap, trying to pick that up over his head. With 25 seconds to go. And rolling on through is LaRue. Now, LaRue trying to hang on through the crotch on Day. 15 seconds to go in regulation. Day trying to pick him up over top his head. 10 seconds to go in regulation. Day trying to pop him from over his head. Dumps him down to his hip. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1, and LaRue will hang on for a 1-0 decision. Jared will go right to Travis Jones on mat number 1.
Jones just ended the second period. He is up 6-2. And they are neutral here in the third period as Creedon goes in trying for a single. And Jones now working, trying front arm and head spinning around. Seems to have a near leg cradle locked up, and he's got the takedown. That'll put him up 8-2. Looking for back points here as he has Creedon to his back, and he does get a third period fall, early third period fall. Again, we do not have view of the clock. But Travis Jones, the winner at 120 via fall over Zachary Creedon of Wallkill Valley.
All right, we will stay on that mat, Jared. We'll stay on number 1 because I will call A.J. DeRosa of Delaware Valley and Matt Rosa of Newton. And Bob will be watching Aiden Taylor of Voorhees and Kaya Cement of Pope John. Cement has a takedown and a 2-0 lead. A.J. DeRosa and Matt Rosa here at 126. Referee for this bout is Frank Leitner, assisted by Doug Hess. Wrestlers are tied up outside the center. Near the edge of the mat, and as they circle, they go off in front of Coach Andy Fitz of Delaware Valley to the left. Wrestlers paw at each other. DeRosa is the top seed. Near a takedown is DeRosa.
Pope John's Kaya Cement just got a victory at 120 via fall over Aiden Taylor of Voorhees.
So that'll be the Jones and Cement in the final at 120. It's Ventresca and LaRue in the finals at 113. 2-0 lead for A.J. DeRosa of Delaware Valley. Right hand tight waist, chops at that left elbow. Rolling on through is Rosa, with DeRosa still in control. DeRosa keeping both legs in to maintain control on Rosa. Got a 1 count there from referee Frank Leitner. There's a still no with DeRosa still in control here, trying to block off Rosa as the period ends. 2-2.
At 126, a semifinal bout between Maverick Leibel of High Point and Anthony Mastroini of Hopatcon. They are scoreless with just under a minute to go in period number 1.
Rosa underneath to start the second. Stands and off the mat they go. And without a scoreboard too, I think this is a 2-2 bout.
Visual data is so overrated.
We had a takedown for A.J. DeRosa and then a reversal, and it's 2-2. And it's A.J. DeRosa of Del Valle on top here in the second. Has both legs in. Rosa trying to shake him off him. Frank Leitner is going to stop it. Stalemate here in the second.
Leibel and Mastroini ended the first period at 126 scoreless.
DeRosa keeps those legs in and trying to use those legs to turn Rosa. Pressures on the head and neck. And again, Rosa wants to try and shake him off the top as DeRosa grabs the left wrist of Rosa. But he's got those legs in tight. Stalemate call by Frank Leitner. Back in a 2-2 bout here in the 126-pound semifinal.
Across the way, Leibel got a escape, so he is up 1-0 over Mastroini.
Stalling warning on DeRosa of Delaware Valley. First warning in the bout. DeRosa getting set. Again, gets those legs in as Rosa comes to a stand. Trying to shake him off. Rosa has those legs in, and Rosa has not been able to shake DeRosa off. Now he wants to try and check him back. Keeps that leg in to maintain control. There's another roll. Reaches back for the head of DeRosa. DeRosa's still in control. And there. That was the end of 2. The end of 2. And we're not able to see the clock. End of 2, tied at 2.
High Point's Leibel still with a 1-0 lead over Hopatcon's Mastroini. They're in the second period with 30 seconds to go. Leibel with a escape as the only score, and he just got a takedown at the edge to go up 3.
A.J. DeRosa stands, trying to pull the hands apart of Rosa, drops down in the right leg, then trying to drop down to a double. Pushing in on DeRosa, and DeRosa will get a neutral as they go off. So A.J. DeRosa of Delaware Valley with a 3-2 lead over Matt Rosa of Newton. DeRosa 5-2 winner over Matthew Garcia of Pope John in the quarters. Rosa a 5-4 winner over Cody O'Rourke of Warren Hills. Rosa trying to work a butt drag. Now DeRosa spins around to Rosa's left. Can he get a knee to the mat or a hand to the mat? There's the takedown. And a 5-2 lead for top seed A.J. DeRosa of Delaware Valley. Again, he's got the legs in. He has been awfully tough with those legs as he rode out Rosa in the second period. And now maintains control of him here in the third. Rosa rolls. DeRosa staying right with him. Pressures on the head and neck. Rosa with a hand now behind the neck of DeRosa, trying to bring him again, trying to shake him off the top, and they're off the mat with DeRosa still in control.
The other battle, 126, it's Hope Hatkong's Anthony Mastroini up 3-1 over Maverick Leibel of High Point.
Rosa getting set. DeRosa gets the legs in. Again, Rosa will try and shake him off the top. He rolls, trying to come out and face DeRosa, trying to spin up pressure on the head and neck, trying to spin around to DeRosa's right. DeRosa blocking him off with the right arm. Trying to set up a concrete special, didn't have it there, then spins around and reverses DeRosa. It is 5-4. He will try to cut him, and that's it. Going to be a 5-4 win for A.J. DeRosa of Delaware Valley over Matt Rosa of Newton at 126.
Hopat's Mastroini still up 3-1. They have just under 40 seconds to go with the bout. Mastroini with a second period takedown and a third period escape to take the lead.
All right, I'm going to keep an eye on this first mat with the top seed, Jake Rotunda of Pope John and Billy Talmadge of Howell Point. Rotunda with a quick takedown to go up 2-0. That's not a bout that we intend to call, but we would go with the other 132 on the other mat after the 126 is finished. Jake Rotunda on top quickly 2-0, the top seed for Pope John here at 132. Billy Talmadge of High Point. Pope John in the white, Talmadge of High Point in the red and white.
And we're done across the way. Hope Hatcon's Anthony Mastroini holds on to win 3-2 over Maverick Leibel of High Point, and he is the winner at 126.
All right, so I will call Hunter Graff and Gage Crater of Delaware Valley. And you can keep track of Rotunda and Talmadge, with Rotunda leading 2-0. In the red is Graff of Hunterdon Central. And Gage Crater of Delaware Valley in the blue and gold. Graff spins around behind. Graff has a takedown. Leads 2-0. Hunter's in on trying to maintain control here on the edge of the mat, as they go off with Graff still in control and ahead 2-0.
Pope John's Rotunda is still up 2-0 over Billy Talmadge of High Point, still in the first period.
Referee for this bout is Anthony Duflamery. Russ Scarice assisting. There's an escape for Crater of Delaware Valley. He trails Graff of Hunterdon Central 2-1. Hunterdon Central in the new 2017-18 style uniforms. Definitely can't call that a singlet anymore. I mean, that's it's a top and shorts.
I'm way too old school for those baggy bottoms.
Off they go at 56 seconds. Graff's trying to post the left hand, left wrist. Has a front head and arm, then reaches for the right ankle. Circles around the right side and has his second takedown. Hunter Graff of Hunterdon Central over Gage Crater of Delaware Valley 4-1 here at 132. Phillipsburg's Kyle Tino be coming up at 138. Graff with a cradle. Got a 2 count. Gets a couple of back points and goes up 6-1 over Gage Crater. Crater stands and sits back in to Graff. First period ends 6-1 Hunter Graff of Hunterdon Central over Gage Crater of Delaware Valley.
Second period just underway in the other 132 bout. Jake Rotunda has chosen down. He maintains a 2-0 lead over High Point's Billy Talmadge.
Crater will be underneath to start the second. Crater tried to stand, then sit back in towards Graff as a half Nelson from the right side. Crater starts to spin, and he will come out and get the escape. 6-2 Graff. As we come back neutral in the center.
Rotunda has an escape, so he's now up 3-0 over Talmadge at 132.
Crater and Graff battle for hand control. Crater reaches for a leg on Graff, can't pull it in. 1:20 to wrestle here in the second. 6-2 lead for Hunter Graff of Hunterdon Central. Drops Crater onto his left hip. Hooks the leg. Graff is near a takedown here and gets it. Graff with his third takedown leads Crater 8-2. 8-3, excuse me, as they go off. Crater stands. Almost a standing hazard by Graff. Brought him down to the mat. Could not turn him. Under 40 seconds to wrestle here in the second. Graff with a right hand tight waist. Has the left arm barred. 20 seconds to go here in the second. Stopped potentially dangerous on the arm by referee Anthony Duflamery. Graff right hand tight waist, switches to a left right on the whistle. An HC on his back for the Red Devils. Final 10 seconds here in the second. Graff maintains control and leads 8-3 after 2.
Pope John's Joe Rotunda still leading 3-0 as they ended the second period at 132.
Our next bout, too, the next bout will be on mat 1 because Kyle Tino of Phillipsburg will be facing the top seed, Joe Aragona of Pope John. Graf underneath stands here in the third. Crater trying to pick him up, then drops down with a high crotch and are off the mat 23 seconds into the second. Phillipsburg through the first 4 weight classes with 1 finalist. That's Travis Jones, who's the top seed at 120. Graf stands again at the edge of the mat. They will go off with Crater still in control. Good crowd on hand this afternoon for the semifinal round of the Hunter and Sussex Warren. Crater, as Graf stands, Crater brings him back down. Crater riding out the left side. He has been able to control Hunter and Central's Hunter Graf here in the third, but has not come close to turning him as we're down to a minute. Trying to run a half Nelson from the left side. Graf trying to block him off with his left arm. Come out and face him. They are off the mat at 48 seconds.
Still 3-0 Jake Rotunda of Pope John over Billy Talmadge in the third period.
Graf gets set. Now Crater, left hand tight waist. Underhooks Graf's left shoulder. Now wants a half Nelson from the left side. Gives up on that. Tries a half Nelson again. Does not have any control of the far wrist for Graf. Still trying to run a half from the left. Under 30 seconds to go in the bout. So Graf unable to get out, but Crater unable to turn him, and we've got 15 seconds to go. Crater trying to pick up on the far ankle, take Graf off his base. 5 seconds to go. Hunter Graf of Hunter Central, an 8-3 win. He'll be in the finals at 132 pounds.
And Joe Rotunda continued to lead. He has just won his bout against Billy Talmadge at 132. The final was 5-0.
Graf 8-3. Rotunda 5-0, and we'll stay on mat 1. Pope John and Hunter and Central. Pope John now with 3 in the finals. The Red Devils have 2. 138, Phillipsburg's Kyle Tino against the top seed Joe Aragona of Pope John. The other one is Shane Kobus of High Point and Andrew Gappis of North Hunterdon. And this is a very loaded weight class here at 138. A couple years ago when, as Aragona drops down and a double picks up, Tino drops him down for the takedown to lead 2-0. A couple years ago, Pope John was in the same region with Phillipsburg. Aragona was the 106-pound champ 2 years ago. And at the end of his bout, and I think he won like a technical fall, piling up takedowns. At the end of his bout, he ran to the top of the bleachers to greet family and friends. Hard mat return, tilting Tino out to his right. 2 counts as referee Barry Jackson, 3. Aragona, 2 back points. 4-0 lead over Tino. Trying to run a half Nelson from the right side. Tino trying to stand. Stands. Aragona has picked him up a couple of times with a strong mat return. Picks him up, drops him down onto his right hip. Trying to tilt Tino again. 1 count. 2. 2 back points for Aragona. He leads 6-0 in the first. Tino slow to get to his feet.
Shane Kobus and Andrew Gappas close to a stalemate over on the other bout, scoreless in the first period.
Tino tries to sit. Again, the mat return and tilt Tino. 1 count, 2, 3. Two more back points. That's 8-0 Aragona, as he had tilted Tino 3 times. Maintains control of him near the edge of the mat. Flip of the disc after the end of the first period. Tino, he'll defer. Aragona looks over to his bench. He's going to go underneath. Aragona, 3rd in the district last year, but a region champ, and finished 2nd in the state.
High Point Shane Kobus up 2-0 over Andrew Gappas. They're in the second period with Kobus having chosen down.
There's a caution on Aragona. Very quick on the whistle, but a little too quick. Aragona stands. Tino picks that left ankle. Now drops down to the left leg. Aragona stands. Gets the escape. And he leads Tino 9-0 here in the second. Aragona was a 21-11 winner over Pasquale Vizzoni of Hunterdon Central in the quarters. Tino with a fall in 3 minutes and 8 seconds over James Hawes of Lenape Valley. Aragona has a takedown. He leads Tino 11-0. Strong right hand tight waist. And the left elbow. Now goes to left hand tight waist. Tino trying to get to his knees. At the edge of the mat, they'll go off. Tino will get a fresh start.
Shane Kobus now up 3-0 over Andrew Gappas.
Tino is set. Broken down by Aragona. Tough cross face there with the left hand. Trying to tilt Tino. 1 count, 2. 2 back points for Aragona. He leads Tino 13-0. Hit 1 count, 2, and if he does not pin him here, that's going to do it with a technical fall. He's got Tino's left arm pulled across the body. And Aragona will give it up right there, and he will win by technical fall, 15-0. Dominant performance by the top seed Joe Aragona of Pope John.
Shane Kobus maintaining his 3-0 lead over Andrew Gappas, and Kobus will be riding as they start the third period.
Stay with that. Let's go to mat 2, Jared. We're going to stay with that one.
As Kobus rides with a leg blocked, and Gappas tries to come to his feet.
Kobus in the white, and that's red trim.
Now, looks like close to a Peterson roll here for Gappas as he tries to push back into Kobus. No signal yet, and there is the reversal. And back points being counted out by Russ Scorizzi. 3 back points, and he has just taken the lead, Andrew Gappas, at 5-3.
And Robert Garcia has Mike Wilson of North Hunterdon in some trouble here and gets the fall. So Garcia, the top seed from Pope John at 145 with a first period pin of Mike Wilson of North Hunterdon.
Gappas was trailing all the way until that 5-point play there with the reversal and back points. Now with 50 seconds to go in the third period as the action is stopped, maybe for blood time.
Jared, we're going to have to go to mat 1 because that's where Phillipsburg is back in action. That is Brian Meyer, the top seed for the Stateliners, facing Calvin Brook of Kittatinny. Doug Hess will be the referee for this bout. So Bob's keeping track of 138, and I'm calling 152. Front head and arm by Brook, and Meyer pops out of that. Meyer tries to snap down, and they go off on the edge. Meyer in the predominantly garnet Stateliners singlet. And Kittatinny in the old blue leggings. The blue and gray of Kittatinny. Meyer trying to get in on a double. Now, again, front head and arm by Brook. Now Meyer's in on that double. Trips, whizzer by Brook. Meyer has to try and slip that whizzer. Dave Post right in front of us saying he's got 2 already. Doug Hess shaking his head no. Meyer in on that double again at the edge, trying to drag his toes. They're off neutral.
So Andrew Gappas rides out in the third period. He wins 5-2 over Shane Kobus at 138. Gappas was the returning champ, but he needed a 5-point play in the third to win it.
Wrestlers are tied up right in the center. Meyer's come close a couple times for a takedown. Has the takedown. Meyer's on top 2-0. Bob's now watching Vince Romanello of Hunterdon Central and Alex Carita of Hackettstown, who just got himself a quick takedown. Meyer riding. Brian is a very effective rider, controlling the left wrist of Brook. Riding out the left side. There's the first period ending. Brian Meyer of Phillipsburg on top of Calvin Brook of Kittatinny, 2-0.
Carita of Hackettstown continues to ride at 145 over Hunterdon Central's Vince Romanello with just a minute to go here in the first period.
Brian Meyer underneath to start the second. Stands. Meyer has himself an escape and now leads 3-0, and he'll work takedowns again. Meyer with a pretty good smack to the left side of the face of Calvin Brook. Meyer wrestled up at 160 2 nights ago against Kittatinny, and I'm sorry I do not remember if he tangled with Brook. Meyer pushes on the head of Brook, dives in on the left leg. Brook sprawls. Meyer from behind trying to drag for double, runs out of room in front of the Kittatinny coaches. To our left. Working takedowns. Meyer picked one up in the first. Was able to ride out Brook, and Meyer escapes to start the second. Meyer has himself a second takedown. Stateliner senior on top 5-0. Brook stands. Meyer is going to cut him. 5-1, Meyer.
Meyer wrestled Connors of Kittatinny, so they did not face Brook.
Meyer tries to snap down on the head. Brian with 106 career wins. working takedowns with Brook. Meyer advancing with a pair of falls in 1:25 over Sammy Giraldo of Hackettstown. And then pinned Gear Nemeth of Warren Hills.
Alex Carita now up 7-2 over Vince Romanello of Hunterdon Central at 1:45. They're in period number 2.
Second period ends with Brian Meyer of Phillipsburg on top 5-1.
Carita got another takedown, so he's now up 9-2.
Kittatinny's choice. Brook is going to go underneath in the third. Meyer riding out the left side. Brook stands and Meyer's going to cut him. On the escape, it's 5-2. Meyer got in on one leg, then dives in on a double. Now a high crotch, and Meyer has a takedown, his third. And he leads Calvin Brook of Kittatinny 7-2. Meyer will cut him again. 7-3.
Alex Carita now up 11-3 over Vince Romanello at 1:45.
Hackettstown and Phillipsburg still in the same district, District 9. We got a good look last year at Alex Carita. Meyer with an ankle pick to a double and has a takedown. Trying to get some back points at the edge. Yep, 2 back points. Takedown and 2 back points for Brian Meyer, who now leads 11-3.
That's the same score for Carita Romanello, with Carita up with 4 takedowns, 11-3.
Meyer is going to cut. He will let Brook go. It's 11-4. Work for wrist control right in the center. Back pedal to the center. Meyer just eyeing up Brook. Ankle pick by Meyer. Whizzer by Brook. Meyer picks up on the other leg, gets the takedown. 13-4 and more back points coming for Brian Meyer. 3 back points. 16-4 on he's got a pair of 5-point plays here in the third period. 16-4 for Brian Meyer, and they're off back to the center.
Carita up 11-3 over Romanello. They've just done 10 seconds to go in the final period.
Brook is set. Meyer with a right-hand tight waist. Brook rolls. Meyer stays right with him. And Brian Meyer will win a 16-4 major decision at 152. Brian Meyer joining Travis Jones in the finals for Phillipsburg.
So Alex Carita wins 11-3 at 145 over Hackettstown's Vince Romanello. Excuse me, Hunterdon Central's Vince Romanello.
We're going to stay on mat 1 and call Kevin Sarisa of Hunterdon Central and Robbie Turro of High Point. What was that final, Bob? Carita, I'm sorry.
11-3 Carita.
And Brian Meyer winning 16-4. Sarisa of Hunterdon Central with that HC right on his back, and Hunterdon Central on the shorts. and Robbie Turro of High Point. Barry Jackson will be the referee for this bout. They're off no advantage. Diving in is Sarisa, looking for a double. Forces his way behind Turro. Sarisa has a takedown and leads 2-0. So 145, that's Garcia of Pope John in the finals against Carita of Hackettstown. Sarisa riding. Left hand tight waist, chopping at the right elbow. Sarisa controlling that right wrist, pulling it across the body. Sarisa with an early first period takedown and maintaining control over Robbie Turro of High Point. Has that right wrist pulled across the body. There's a stalling call, and that's on top. Stalling call on top on Kevin Sarisa. First warning in the bout. Turro set. Sarisa wraps that right hand or left tight waist around the right side. Turro trying to control the right wrist of Sarisa. He can't lock anything up. He shakes that loose. Goes back to that strong left hand tight waist. Crossface. There's a stalling warning on Robbie Turro. And that is the end of the first period with Sarisa of 100 Central on top of Turro of High Point, 2-0.
At 152, Newton's Wyatt McCarthy has a 2-1 lead over Tucker Kirchenberger of North Hunterdon. They've now started the second period with McCarthy on top.
The winner of that one will get Phillipsburg's Brian Meyer in the finals. Sarisa underneath here to start the second. Turro controlling that left ankle. Wanted to try and pick up and stack up Sarisa, but they go off with Turro still in control. Sarisa gets set. Trying to run a half Nelson from the right side is Turro. Hooks the right leg of Sarisa. Trying to pick up on the left ankle, take him off his base. Now he does. Keeps that right leg hooked. Sarisa has a 2-0 lead on a first period takedown. So far unable to get away from Robbie Turro of High Point. Turro riding near the edge of the state liner mat. Sarisa will get a fresh start. They're back to the center.
End of two over at 152 with Kirchenberger getting a second period escape to now tie Wyatt McCarthy. They're at 2-2 going into third with McCarthy taking down.
We have a little blood time, blood coming from the forehead of 100 Central's Kevin Sarisa. In case you have just joined us, Finalists at 106, Malavchik of Belvedere, Unger of Hunterdon Central. 113, Ventresca of Pope John, LaRue of High Point. 120, Jones of Phillipsburg, Cement of Pope John. 126, DeRosa of Delaware Valley. Mastraini of Hopatcong. 132, Rotunda of Pope John, Graff of Hunterdon Central. 138, Aragona of Pope John, Gappus of North Hunterdon. 145, Garcia of Pope John, Carita of Hackettstown.
McCarthy came out early in the third period, so he is now up 3-2 over Tucker Kirchenberger of North Hunterdon.
All right, they've stopped the blood flow from the forehead of Kevin Sarisa. Now we had a little clock issue on this mat, or we have coming over to the scorers table. It's Barry Jackson and Joe Benvenuto.
McCarthy and Kirchenberger both on their feet with a minute to go. McCarthy with a 3-2 lead.
All right, Sarisa getting set. Turo rides that left ankle. Trying to take Sarisa off his base. Looking for a cross-face cradle. Trying to take the left elbow back to the knee, and they're off the mat here in the second. Sarisa getting set, hands and knees. Left hand tight waist, right elbow for Turo. Looking cross face on Sarisa. Sarisa stands, tearing at the hands. Brought back down, now tries to sit and turn in. And maintaining control is Turo. Turo rides out the second. Turo will take down in the third. 2-0 lead for Kevin Sarisa of Hunterdon Central.
McCarthy's hung on to take a 3-2 victory over Tim Kirchenberger of North Hunterdon at 152.
So Meyer of Phillipsburg and McCarthy of Newton in the finals at 152. Turo picking up at the ankle, trying to take Sarisa off his base, who's locked behind the right knee. Trying to now pick him up. Turo, if he can hook a leg, going to get himself a reversal here. Again, he's got a strong grip on that right ankle. Sarisa trying to block him off with his right arm. There is the hooked leg. If he, I'm sorry, maybe he chose top in the third period. I'm sorry, I didn't notice. Well, there's a reversal for Sarisa. And he is up 4-0. Sarisa riding out the right side. Trying that claw on the right side of Turo. Barry Jackson looks in. Both Sarisa and Turo have been effective riders. Neither one. There's a stalling warning on Turo. That should be a point for Sarisa. That would be 5-0. They're going to go off the mat just to our right, back to the center with Sarisa on top, 5-0.
They're underway at 160. John Borgongoni of Newton and Bill Hughes of North Hunterdon scoreless with 30 seconds to go in the first period.
So we have the two 160 semifinalists on the mat, or semifinal bouts on the mat right now. Sarisa riding out the left side. And it'll be a 6-0 win, 5-0 win for Kevin Sarisa of Hunterdon Central.
Newton's John Borgongoni just credited with a takedown, so he's now up 2-0 at 160 over Bill Hughes.
As I suspected, I believe Phillipsburg's Lance Wissing is not going to take the mat, who's up against his competing throughout the tournament. He'd be up against his 30 match. Yep, it's going to be a forfeit win for John Heiler of Kittatinny.
Borgongoni ends the first period up 2-0 over Bill Hughes at 160, and Borgongoni will take down to start period number 2.
We're going to stay, we'll stay on 2, Jared, and between Hughes and Borgongoni. But I'll keep an eye on 182, Zach Mafaro of Kittatinny on mat 1, along with Joe DeLuca of Newton.
Borgongoni started period number 2 down and just got credited with a reversal, so he is now up 4-0 over Bill Hughes of North Hunterdon as they start back to the center of the mat with 1:37 to go in period number 2. Borgongoni trying to power half with a leg blocked behind. And Hughes working up to his base, now flattened back down. Borgongoni trying to power half again, turning it hard. But no indication of back points as of yet. And stop for potentially dangerous. And they'll go back to the center. In fact, looked like a 1 point just given for potentially dangerous. So Hughes picks up 1. And it will be 4-1 Borgongoni of Newton. He is he placed 3rd in last year's tournament. As Hughes comes to his feet, tearing at the hands of Borgongoni, and comes out to get 1. And that makes it 4-2. Borgongoni quickly in on a takedown to go back up, or stay back up, rather, excuse me. 6-2.
Zach Mafaro of Kittatinny, the top seed at 182, has a first period takedown over Joe DeLuca of Newton to lead 2-0.
Borgongoni riding with ease with a one-on-one on the far side as Hughes tries to come up to his base and does. He stands, tears at the hands as they work towards the edge of the mat. Borgongoni holding on. Hughes comes to face, but Borgongoni's got a leg up in the air, still in control as they're at the edge of the mat, and they go off with 23 seconds to go in the second period.
DeLuca underneath here in the first, trailing Mafaro of Kittatinny at 182, 2-0.
Borgongoni rides as Hughes sits back into him, tries to reverse. Borgongoni stays on top. Hughes coming to his base, tears at the hands. Borgongoni has to face him, and still in control as he's got the leg up in the air. Switches to 2, and they go off with just 4 seconds to go here in the second period.
End of 1, 2-0 Mafaro over DeLuca. Mafaro will be underneath to start the second.
Hughes has showed plenty of motion here on the bottom as they start back again. Hughes just holding on, and that ends the second period. 6-2, Newton's John Borgongoni. The choice is for Bill Hughes, and he chooses neutral as they start the third period.
Mafaro of Kittatinny with an escape to start the second at 182, leading DeLuca of Newton 3-0.
Borgongoni quickly in on a double near the edge, and no takedown signified by referee Joe Rossetti. So they go back to the center.
Mafaro just picked up DeLuca, dropped him down for a takedown, leads 5-0 in the second.
Hughes now in deep on a double, wizard off by Borgongoni, and they go off. These guys are mobile as they circle in the center again. Head tap from Borgongoni. Hughes trying to drag the arm. Now near the edge, Borgongoni pushing into him as they circle back. Borgongoni looking for a fireman's, reaching under to his single, using his head as a lever, switches to the double, picks up Hughes, and brings him down to the mat for a takedown. And that's his third, and he goes up 8-2 with 1:10 to go in the bout.
Zach Mafara of Kittatinny on mat 1, the top seed, maintaining control here over Joe DeLuca of Newton, leading 5-0 in the second.
Borgongoni with a butt drag in the back there, arm draped over the front of Hughes. Now back underneath as they near the edge. Borgongoni draped over, now reaching for the far leg of Hughes. One leg trapped, trying to grab the other leg over. Reaching for the far arm now as he tries to bring Hughes back. 26 seconds to go as they're near the edge. Hughes comes back to his base. Borgongoni with a tight waist now, looking for an arm bar as they're near the edge. And they go off with 12 seconds to go. Borgongoni up 8-2.
Mafaro has DeLuca in a lot of trouble. DeLuca managed to bridge off his back. 3 back points. Mafaro up 8-0 in the second. And it's 8-0 after 2.
Hughes close to a reversal, but forced back by Borgongoni. And now back points will be awarded to Borgongoni as the bout ends. 3 back points. And that makes your final 11-2. John Borgongoni of Newton over Bill Hughes at 160.
So that's Newton and Hunterdon Central. Sarisa and Borgongoni in the final at 160. And we will stay on mat 2. We're going to have Dan Formato of Hunterdon Central, James Swetzel of Pope John. And I'll keep track of Mafaro and DeLuca.
Okay, Swetzel and Formato circling in the center and locked up. Swetzel placed 6th last year. Formato also placed 6th last year. Formato, of course, in the Hunterdon Central red. Swetzel in the white for Pope John with the blue lion across the front. As they grapple in the center. Formato trying to work an arm drag, hand control. And they break that off again. Now Swetzel in, looking for an ankle pick, near a takedown. And he gets the takedown as Formato works his way off his back. So 2-0 lead for James Swetzel of Pope John.
In the third period at 182, Zach Mafaro of Kittatinny still with an 8-0 lead over Joe DeLuca of Newton. DeLuca chose neutral in the third. Neither wrestler able to muster a takedown.
Swetzel now draped over Formato.
Mafaro gets a takedown on a fighting off a desperation attempt by DeLuca. And that'll be the final. Zach Mafaro of Kittatinny, the top seed. 10-0 major decision over Joe DeLuca at 182.
Stalemate called, and now they go back to the center at 170 with Swetzel of Pope John in the lead, 2-1. Formato to his feet. Swetzel brings him back down. Formato back up to his feet. And he does get an escape. So Swetzel with a 2-1 lead over Formato of Hunterdon Central. As they circle in the center of the mat, Formato trying in on a double. Swetzel sprawls to fight him off, blocking the leg. Now pushing in as Formato, and the period comes to a close. It was close to some action there. So 2-1, Swetzel of Pope John in the lead. And he has choice, defers. And Dan Formato looking to the bench for guidance. He's taking down to start period number 2.
Let's go to mat 1, Jared. I'm going to call Scott Fernandez of Voorhees and Ryan Kukowski of Belvedere. Well, it's a 195-pound semifinal. Scott Fernandez in the gold for the Voorhees Vikings, and in the red is Ryan Kukowski of Belvedere. Referee is Joe Benvenuto for this bout. Kukowski, one of 2 Belvedere semifinalists, and the Fernandezes, Scott and Lewis, up for Voorhees at 195 and then at 220. Picking up on the ankle is Fernandez, trying to spin around to Kukowski's right. Kukowski still has hands locked behind the right leg. There's the takedown for Fernandez. Scott Fernandez of Voorhees out in front of Ryan Kukowski of Belvedere, 2-0. Kukowski tying up the right hand and wrist of Fernandez. He's ranked 7th in the state in this weight class and a 3rd place finish in this tournament a year ago. Joe Benvenuto calls a stalemate. We'll go back to the center.
Dan Formato of Hunterdon Central got an escape early in the second period, so now they are tied at 2. Swetzel and Formato at 170.
Phillipsburg is going to have 2 finalists, Travis Jones, Brian Meyer. Do have a lot alive in consolations. In the semifinals, Phillipsburg losing Cullen Day, dropped a 1-0 decision at 113. Lance Wissing up against that 30-bout limit, forfeiting at 170, and Kyle Tino was defeated by technical fall at 132 by Joe Aragona of Pope John. First period ends 2-0 for Fernandez, and Kukowski is going to choose neutral to start the second.
Hunterdon Central's Formato got a late takedown in the second period. He's now up 4-2 over James Swetzel of Pope John. Formato rioting in period number 3.
Working takedowns here at 195. Kukowski tried to tie up the right wrist of Fernandez. Fernandez a fall in 2.5 over Jackson Cron of Kittatinny in the quarters. Kukowski was a 5-4 winner over Eli Calfian of Delaware Valley. Fernandez in the gold and wearing a pad on his right knee. His first period takedowns given him a 2-0 lead, and we're neutral here in the second. Kukowski with Russian tie, then drops down on the right leg, but he got flattened out, and Fernandez trying to free that right leg and come around to Kukowski's right for a takedown. And he gets it. Fernandez's second takedown, leading Kukowski of Belvedere 4-0. Trying to turn Kukowski to his left. Controlling that left elbow. Now turns him back to his right. Trying to lean out the right side. Keeps pressure on the head and neck of Kukowski. It's to try to get a leg in. Fernandez ties up that left wrist. End of the second. 4-0 Fernandez.
At 170, Dan Formato of Hunterdon Central beat James Swetzel of Pope John 11-5. with a pair of takedowns and 2 turns in the third period, as he scored 7 in the third to win it 11-5.
It's Kittatinny and Hunterdon Central now with 4 finalists. Kittatinny and Hunterdon Central. Heiler of Kittatinny, Famato of Hunterdon Central at 170. That's Unger, Graf, Sarisa, and Famato for Hunterdon Central. Fernandez here riding in the third for Voorhees, ahead of Kikowski of Belvedere 4-0. Stalemate called by referee Joe Benvenuto.
Underway at 182 on the far mat, Warren Hills, Jared Oster, and Pope John's Reese Moldwin.
Fernandez has that right leg in, trying to get the left, and a power half turns Kikowski to his right. Now cups him under the chin and using the legs to try and turn him to his right again. Has 2 back points coming after the hold is broken, unless that stopped potentially dangerous. 2 back points for Fernandez, and he leads Kikowski 6-0.
Warren Hills' Jared Oster has Reese Muldoon up on a single leg, looking to trip and get a takedown in the first. Minute to go in the first period.
Oster and Muldoon, a pair of undefeated wrestlers on the season. Oster, a couple of wins today. He's 12-0. Muldoon's 14-0. Stalemate called again with Fernandez on top of Kikowski, 6-0.
Oster got the takedown, but quickly gave up and escaped to Reese Muldoon, so it's 2-1 Oster.
Kikowski getting set, stands. Fernandez puts that right leg in, trips him back down. After the conclusion of this one on 1, Jared, we will go to mat 2 and pick up the rest of Oster and Muldoon. Fernandez riding, controlling the left wrist, has a leg in near the edge of the mat. Fernandez sneaking a look at the clock, which, again, we can't see. Trying to set up a power half, up high with that. And that is the final at 195. Scott Fernandez of Voorhees, a 6-0 win over Ryan Kikowski.
Oster of Warren Hills leads Muldoon of Pope John 2-1. They're in the second period here, and Muldoon took down as just 9 seconds came off the clock there as they start back at the center. With Oster riding, Muldoon coming to his feet. Oster picking him up, bringing him back down. Muldoon back to his feet, and he has the escape. So they're tied at 2 now with 1:36 to go in period 2.
I'll keep an eye on mat 1. Bob Lou Fernandez of Voorhees with a quick takedown and a 2-0 lead over Jacob Mafaro of Kittatinny.
Muldoon and Oster near the edge of the mat, and they go off with 1:20 to go.
Luis Fernandez, 3rd in this tournament a year ago. He's ranked 3rd in the state, according to NJ.com at 220. Driving a half, and he has Jacob Mafaro on his back and in a lot of trouble. Mafaro trying to bridge off, and Fernandez will plant him again, picking up on the head, and a body press and a fall. That's Doug Hess with a very calm pin call for Lou Fernandez of Voorhees at 220.
Ulster and Muldoon remain knotted at 2 as they go off the edge with 42 seconds to go in period number 2. Oster of Warren Hills in the royal blue with a first period takedown. Muldoon with escapes in the first and second period. He in the white with the blue lion on the front. As Muldoon tries to sweep around Oster. Oster underneath, clamping on the arm of Muldoon.
We're now up to, we'll stay on mat 2. We're now up, though, to 285 on mat 1. It's Joe Andes of Hackettstown, the top seed, Joe Sprague of North Warren. So we're at 182 on the match that Bob's calling, and 285, Joe Andes of Hackettstown with a quick 2-0 lead.
And Muldoon coming quickly around, but no takedown by Joe Rossetti. So they end the second period with just the single escape for Muldoon. Now go to the third with Oster having choice. And Oster shaking up a bit, gripping his wrist or his knee, not sure which.
Sprague has a reversal, and Andes, who has been hurt, is taking some injury time.
So Oster is being watched by the trainer now over in front of the scoreboard.
Andes was lucky that he was able to scramble and able to belly down. I guess I'll describe it as a brace of some sort that's on his left, wrapped around his left shoulder, and he has missed some time this season. So we've got either injury or blood time right now on both mats.
May have been blood, and Oster's now pulling the knee pad up, and will come back to the center.
Okay, Andes is up to his feet. They stop the injury time, and he'll be ready to go.
Might be some consultation over here at the scorer's table. They are tied at 2. Oster of Warren Hills, Muldoon of Pope John. And they come back to the center with Oster beginning to get back down, but Muldoon signifying he's going to let him up. So that gives Oster a 3-2 lead over Muldoon as they work in the center. Oster on his feet and thrusting in on Muldoon.
Escape for Andes, the Hackettstown senior, leading 3-2.
So they're tied up near the edge. Oster backing off, and they go off. Oster up 3-2. Minute 40 to go in the match. As they circle. And Pope John's Muldoon tries to single, but pushed off by Oster, and they go back off. Blood time, I believe, was for Oster. And they're back underway, circling again. With Muldoon, the aggressor, as he's near the edge, in on a single, trying to pull that in as Oster goes off. Oster with a 3-2 lead. As Mike mentioned, neither wrestler has lost yet this year.
Sprague and Andes both working up high as Andes just tossed Sprague on by, and they go off the mat, no advantage.
Joe Rossetti giving a stalling warning to Jared Oster as he backed up near the edge. Muldoon in on a single, trying to pull Oster back in. He's got that ankle trapped, but they're off. 48 seconds to go. Oster somewhat keeping his distance with that 1-point advantage.
First period concluded at 285. Joe Andes of Hackettstown with a 3-2 lead.
Oster now in on a single, on Muldoon, and tries to come around behind. No advantage yet. As Muldoon tries to face Oster. Oster now takes the leg to the air. He's got it up high. Muldoon tried to duck underneath, but Oster on top in a kind of sitting on him. But now through the legs as Muldoon's trying to come out through the back. No advantage yet from Joe Rossetti. 12 seconds to go. And Muldoon coming out through the back. No advantage yet. Muldoon draped over. The leg is blocked by Oster. And no takedown awarded, so Oster hangs on to win 3-2, the difference being that escape to start the third period. So Jared Oster of Warren Hills advances to the finals.
That's the first blue streak in the finals. Andy's riding. Sprague up on his feet, but Andy's maintaining control. And we'll stay, let's go to mat 1 with Andy's of Hackettstown and Sprague of North Warren. Bob will be keeping an eye on 195. That's Luke Fisher of Newton and Robbie Janat of Sparta. Andy's with a 3-2 lead here in the second. Sprague chose underneath. Been able to stand, but not been able to get out. Andy's drops down to the left leg behind the knee, trips with the right, and Doug Hess says no. There was no change in control. Still a 3-2 advantage for Andy's. Sprague getting set. Hands and knees. Right hand tight waist by Andy's. Sprague stands, trying to pull those hands apart. Andy's throws him back to his back and a body press. 3 count, 4, 5, 3 back points if he doesn't pin him. He got the fall. Andy's got the fall. Sprague stood, got a little off balance. Andy's was able to toss him to his back and get the fall for Hackettstown.
Newton's Luke Fisher has a first period takedown and is now riding with 30 to go over Robbie Ginott of Sparta. Fisher riding here over Ginott with 24 seconds as Ginott tries to come out the back.
All of the wrestlers involving top seeds have been completed on mat 1, so all the action remaining is going to be on mat 2. So we're at 195, still to come 220 and 285. Going to give me an opportunity to sit down for a couple of minutes.
First period ends with Fisher up 2-0 over Ginott. And Fisher taking down as his choice.
I'll give you a quick recap of finalist numbers through 182. Pope John has 5, Hunterdon Central has 4, and we have 2 each for Kittatinny, Newton, and Phillipsburg. 1 each for Belvedere, Del Val, Hackettstown, although Hackettstown's actually going to finish with 2. High Point, Hopatcong, North Hunterdon, and Warren Hills.
Fisher escapes early to start the second period, then Ginott in deep on a double. So Fisher with a 3-2 lead over Ginott, as Ginott signifies he's going to let Fisher go, and he does. So 4-2 Fisher. Fisher in the garnet for the Newton Braves. Ginott in the blue for Sparta. Ginott got his 100th victory recently. He placed 4th a year ago. Fisher 6th a year ago. As Ginott looks for an arm drag and pulls on the head of Luke Fisher. And they go off with 1:03 to go. 4-2 Fisher at 195.
Stuart Cohn's the referee for the bout.
Ginott in on a single and tries to pick up as Fisher blocks off with the ankle. Now loses that, draped over the top. His hips are higher, he's trying the advantage. Ginott trying to pick him up, but he's got no leverage. He's holding onto that ankle of Luke Fisher. Fisher trying to break that off. He's got his weight on Gannat, but has no control. Gannat sucking in that left leg of Luke Fisher. Fisher draped over top. Fisher can pull that arm off, pull the leg free, he would have the takedown.
Gannat is a state-ranked wrestler, Bob. He's ranked 8th according to NJ.com.
And he's come out the back door, Gannat, so he gets the takedown. And that ties it up at 4. And that was just at the end of the second period.
Gannat's a district and region runner-up, a goals tournament champion, and finished 4th in 100 Sussex Warren last year.
So Gannat starts period number 3 in the down position. They're tied at 4. And referees get him started second time. And we're underway in period number 3 with Fisher draped over top of Gannat with a forearm. Gannat just trying to block off the back leg of Luke Fisher. Tearing at the hands of Fisher, and stalemate is called.
Gannat, Bob, a 10-1 winner in the quarters over Lucas Bakarian of Hunter Central. He, by the way, sent Shamir Broaders into the consolation bracket from Phillipsburg. Bakarian winning back-to-back, beat Broaders, pinned him on Wednesday night, decision him 3-1 today. Fisher, a 6-2 winner over Nick Galka of Warren Hills in the quarters.
So he's been cut here, so it's now 5-4 for Sparta's Robbie Gannat as they're locked up near the center. With Fisher around the back of the head, and they break back apart. Circling near the edge, and they're off. Just under a minute to go. 5-4 for Sparta's Robbie Gannat. Fisher in on a single, blocked off by Gannat. They're back up to their feet, and now off the edge in front of the scorer's table.
And from our vantage point, we're starting to get blocked by some wrestlers warming up for the consolation semis, which will be following.
Gonna go tall here. So as they locked up near the center. Circling, fighting for hand control. Fisher being a bit more aggressive as he goes in on a single, fought off by Gannat. Near the edge, now Fisher looking to throw a throw, and they're off. 18 seconds to go. Gannat up 5-4. They come back neutral. Luke Fisher is kind of out of position there and there's probably going to be a caution on Luke Fisher for starting a bit early. Try again with 15 to go. Fisher reaching, shooting in on the single, blocked off by Gannat. Gannat's got the underhook. He's content to stay there, locked up. 1 second, and it's over. A 5-4 victory for Robbie Gannat of Sparta over Luke Fisher of Newton.
Sparta and Voorhees, that'll be Scott Fernandez of Voorhees and Robbie Gannat of Sparta in the finals at 195. So at 220, we will have Ryan Hall of Lenape Valley and Jake Brown. All right, that's what I thought they might do. They will. They're going to wrestle. Going to move one to bottom half of the bracket. Hall and Brown, and they're going to tear some more mats down. All right. So I'll call this one. This is Ryan Hall of Lenape Valley in the red, and in the blue, is Jake Brown of Pope John. Brown is the 2 seed, and Hall is the 3. Jake Brown, 7th ranked in the state in this weight class. Joe Rossetti is going to be the referee.
Brown placed 3rd a year ago.
Hall tried to snap down on the head of Brown and go back to the center. He had missed some time this year with injury. Most of the other Pope John wrestlers have been in white in the tournament today. Brown in blue.
Well, there's consistency, and then there's this.
In and a takedown is Brown for the Pope John Lions. A 2-0 lead over Ryan Hall of Lenape Valley. Trying to bar the left arm. Controlling that arm. Just to watch he doesn't turn that into a chicken wing. Now around the head, kind of a standing cement job, but they're off the mat. Hall able to fight that off. They're back to the center.
Hall did well to come to his feet from that potentially pinning combination.
Yeah, we got that straightened. We do have now the advantage of a scoreboard across the way.
Life is good. Just
under 50 seconds to go in the first. That was a request I was going to make for the finals. If I thought at least maybe we could get the center high scoreboard, but that even works out better. The scoreboard far side to our left. Brown trying to pull the left wrist through the crotch, gives up on that. This is a 220-pound semifinal, bottom half of the bracket. Jake Brown of Pope John leading Ryan Hall of Lenape Valley 2-0. With a half, takes him over just as the period ends and will not get any back points. Brown up 2-0 after 1. The winner gets Lou Fernandez of Voorhees, the top seed.
Brown had Hall's near arm draped over his back and then slipped into half, and that was going to be a world of hurt if the clock didn't expire.
Hall deferred, and Brown took top to start the second. Right hand tight waist. Pulls up the far ankle and hooks a leg, trying to turn Hall to his left. Body press, and a fall. That's in 2:16 for Jake Brown of Pope John, who chooses the top in the second and works that for a fall in 2:16. That has the makings of a pretty good final at 2:20 with Lou Fernandez of Voorhees. And Pope John now with 6 finalists. So our final bout of the semifinals coming up at 285. This will be Gabriel Jimenez of Lenape Valley and Dorodulo Ajay of Warren Hills. Lenape Valley in the red, Warren Hills in the black and the blue with the WH on Ajay's left hip. Stuart Cohn is the referee for this bout.
Neither of these wrestlers placed last year.
Ajayi is a rather imposing figure. He's in on the right leg. He's got a takedown and a 2-0 lead. Jimenez stands, comes off and all the way across on the gym floor where mat number 2 had been removed. Jimenez will be underneath. Ajay on top.
Ajay checked with Jimenez as they came back on to see that he wasn't hurt.
Tries to bar the left arm. That's stopped potentially dangerous by referee Stu Cohn.
Ajay brings to mind the Bill Raftery phrase, the big fella.
Ajayi, right hand tight waist, chops at the left elbow. And there's a reversal for Jimenez. Bout is tied at 2. Minute 10 to wrestle in the first. Now Jimenez turned to right, keeps his weight high on the back of Ajayi. With a power half, drives the half. Ajayi rolls on through it. No back points for Jimenez. He was able to turn Ajayi, but could not hold him on his back. They are off the mat. Back to the center at 43 seconds to go in the first.
Ajayi did well to roll through that. Jimenez had a good power half, but he just a little over anxious. And we don't have the benefit of the weigh-in sheets that we normally would on a dual match. But I mean, neither of these fellas are small.
Jimenez, right hand tight waist, left elbow. Picks up on Ajayi's right ankle to break him down. It's to set up that power half again. He just drives it without the benefit of a leg. Tries to pick up on the far ankle to break down Ajayi. Trying to set up that power half again. 20 seconds to go here in the first. Ajayi gets to his knees and Jimenez breaks him down. Trying to hammer, bar the right arm, and watch that. Trying to drive him over. Drives Ajayi over. Body press by Jimenez. He got the fall in a minute 58. Jimenez with a bar to turn him and a body press getting the fall. That is Andes of Hackettstown and Jimenez of Lenape Valley in the final at 285. And is Lenape Valley's only finalist.
Jimenez had that arm draped across the back of Ajayi and just threw his weight into it. Got Ajayi over to his back, and with that much weight on Ajayi, there was just not a lot of fight to happen.
All right, we will wrap up the semifinal round for you at 106 pounds. Quinn Malofchik of Belvedere, an 11-4 decision over Cooper Stort of Sparta. And in the bottom half of the bracket, Brett Unger of Hunterdon Central, 12-0 major decision over Connor Robinson of North Hunterdon. And that'll be 1 and 2 in the finals. At 113, Eddie Ventresca, Pope John, winner by fall over C.J. Heaps of Delaware Valley. And in the bottom half of the bracket, Brandon LaRue of High Point scored a 1-0 decision over Phillipsburg's Cullen Day. That is 1 and 3 in the finals. 120, Travis Jones of Phillipsburg, winner by fall over Zach Creedon of Wallkill Valley. And he will face Caius Cement of Pope John, who defeated Aiden Taylor of Voorhees. At 126, A.J. DeRosa of Delaware Valley, the top seed, a 5-4 decision. He defeated Matt Rosa of Newton, 5-4. DeRosa over Rosa, 5-4. Bottom half of the bracket, Anthony Mastroini of Opatcon, the 2 seed, a 3-2 winner over Maverick Leibel of High Point. So 126 is 1 and 2 seeds in the finals. 132, Jake Rotunda of Pope John, the top seed, 5-0 decision over Billy Talmadge of High Point. He'll face the 2 seed, Hunter Graff of Hunterdon Central, an 8-3 winner over Gage Crater of Delaware Valley. 133, Joe Aragona of Pope John. Aragona winner by technical fall, 15-0 over Phillipsburg's Kyle Tino. And he will face the 2 seed. That is Andrew Gappis of North Hunterdon, who was a 5-2 winner over Shane Kobus of High Point. Excuse me, 1 and 2 at 138. 145, Robert Garcia of Pope John, winner by fall over Michael Wilson of North Hunterdon. He will face the 2 seed Alex Carita of Hackettstown, an 11-3 major decision over Vince Romanello of Hunterdon Central. 152, it'll be the 1 and 2 seeds. Brian Meyer of Phillipsburg, 16-4 major decision over Calvin Brook of Kittatinny, and Wyatt McCarthy of Newton, a 3-2 winner over Tucker Kirchberger of North Hunterdon. 160, it'll be 1 and 2. Kevin Cerise of Hunterdon Central, 5-0 decision over Robbie Turro of High Point. And in the bottom half of the bracket, Jonathan Borgognoni of Newton, an 11-2 major decision over Bill Hughes of North Hunterdon. 170, it'll be 1 and 2. Josh Heiler of Kittatinny, winner by forfeit over Phillipsburg's Lance Wissing. And in the bottom half of the bracket, Dan Fermato of Hunterdon Central, an 11-5 decision over James Swetzel of Pope John. 182, top seed Zach Mafaro of Kittatinny, 10-0 major decision over Joe DeLuca of Newton. Bottom half of the bracket, Warren Hills Jared Oster, the 3 seed, with a 3-2 win over Reese Muldoon of Pope John. 195, the top seed Scott Fernandez of Voorhees, 6-0 decision over Ryan Kikowski of Belvedere. Bottom half of the bracket, Robbie Gannett of Sparta, a 5-4 decision over Luke Fisher of Newton. At 220, Lou Fernandez of Voorhees, winner by fall over Jacob Mafaro of Kittatinny. Bottom half of the bracket, Pope John's Jake Brown, winner by fall in 2 minutes and 16 seconds over Ryan Hall of Lenape Valley. And at 285, Joe Andes of Hackettstown, winner by fall over Joey Sprague of North Warren. He is the 1 seed. He'll face the 3 seed Gabe Jimenez of Lenape Valley, winner by fall in 1:58 over Dorudolo Ajayi of Warren Hills. If you are doing the math, and I hope I have this correct, Let me just recap that, folks. We're sorry if we lost you. I think we lost power, and I don't know if there was any battery to send that out to you, but I will recap where I think we broke off just about 30 seconds ago. Yeah. In the, by school, the number of finalists. Pope John has 6, then 4 for Hunterdon Central. No one else has more than 2. Hackettstown with 2, Kittatinny with 2, Newton with 2, Phillipsburg with 2, Voorhees with 2, and 1 each for Belvedere, Delaware Valley, High Point, Hopatcong, Lenape Valley, North Hunterdon, Sparta, and Warren Hills. So our semifinal wrestling action in the Hunterdon Sussex Warren Tournament. A service this afternoon by the Rothman Institute, a worldwide leader in orthopedics, an official orthopedic partner of the NJSIAA. Visit RothmanInstitute.com. By Ahart, Frinzi & Smith, recognized as one of the leading insurance agencies in the United States. Find out more at AFSinsurance.com. By Erco Credit Union, 450 Hillcrest Boulevard in Phillipsburg and 2240 Northampton Street in Easton. Great rates, low fees. Visit us at ErcoCU.com. By Open Mic, for exclusive coverage of the Stateliners and the entire Hunterdon, Warren, Sussex area, follow Mike Weileman's blog at mikeopen.blogspot.com. By Welcome to the Pit, a history of Phillipsburg wrestling is available. Order yours on Amazon today. And follow Phillipsburg Wrestling on Twitter at Pberg HS Wrestling. That's Pberg HS WRESTLIN. Our thanks to our supervising broadcast technician and ace cameraman, Jared Marchicelli, trying to follow action on 2 mats today. The best I can tell you, folks, is give us at least an hour. They have to wrestle the consolation semis. That's 2 bouts apiece in the 14 weight classes on the 3 mats in front of us. So I don't think the finals will begin before 5 o'clock, maybe even 5:15 or perhaps 5:30. So give us at least until 5 before you check back with us. So our thanks again to the tournament officials here. Did a good job keeping us comfortable and getting us all the paperwork that we needed. So that'll wrap it up for the semifinals. Be back somewhere, folks, I think between 5 and 5:30. For Bob Kerp, I'm Mike Moore. Have a great afternoon.